Hey guys, Ponce here to talk to you guys about the new Mordekaiser rework. Yes, another one, and its associated kit and sort of what Riot's had to say about that over the last few days. So to start things off, let's quickly look over this video here, which sort of where Riot explains what the kit is, so we're all on the same page. And then afterwards, I'm going to talk about maybe some stuff in relation to that, and when it's coming to the PBE, etc., etc. So yeah, like I said, let's quickly watch this, so we're all on the same page. I'll talk to you guys in a minute.
Mordekaiser, the Iron Revenant, is an unstoppable juggernaut back from the afterworld as the new Master of Death. 3 spells or attacks against the champion, damages nearby enemies, and gives Mordekaiser movement speed.
No escape!
Mordekaiser slams down his mace, dealing damage in an area or bonus damage to a single enemy. The evil overlord absorbs damage taken and damage dealt to charge his shield. Mordekaiser can consume the shield for health.
Unbreakable!
A deadly claw drags enemies toward him, dealing damage and tons of terror. Also grants passive magic penetration. Mordekaiser banishes a single enemy champion to the Death Realm for a gruesome 1v1. If he destroys them, he'll consume their soul, gaining partial stats until they respawn. As a brutal warlord of death, Mordekaiser outplays opponents by turning fights when the odds are against him, punish enemies in the Death Realm, and return to obliterate the rest.
Welcome to Oblivion.
All right, there we have that. Okay, let's get myself back on here so we can talk about things. All right, so yeah, just to be clear, the first thing we should probably cover is the fact that this is not currently on the PBE. It most likely will be in a few hours, if I had to guess, sometime later today. Today's Wednesday, incidentally. Wednesday, what's the actual date? Let me look that up. Wednesday the 29th. So it's actually a little bit late. Normally the PBE updates on Tuesdays, although it's not without precedent for PBE cycles to hit on Wednesdays. So it's just that's what's happening this week around, I'm going to guess. It's still pretty early on, so currently it's 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I imagine probably by at least 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we should see the character, and I'll have the videos and all that and gameplay stuff available for you guys to take a look at, how it actually functions in game, etc., etc. So stay tuned to the channel for that. Also live streaming, obviously. But yeah, it looks like they're turning him into probably like what's kind of much more, or what fits much more into kind of like the standard juggernaut mold. That's sort of the impression I'm getting. Obviously, it depends on the stats and how it actually plays out in game, but definitely getting very strong standard I'm a juggernaut sort of kind of vibes here. With the Tam Kent shield, like he's got elements of other people's kit in him, obviously, like that's just League of Legends at this point. But yeah, that's probably like the most blatant, this is from another character thing, is the Tam Kent shield. Although interestingly, he does retain good, or I would say a good amount of sort of the general, I guess, idea behind his old kit through various iterations, actually. Kind of like how he retains sort of like that passive damage over time thing, which is like that old metal shield thing he had, which is now in his passive. And his passive also has like that whole 3 hits mechanic thing, although now it includes spells. The old Q kind of reminds me of the old cone Q, sort of. His W is now like an actual ability instead of him having like that passive shield thing like old Mordekaiser. So I don't know. It seems like they're making him kind of much more of an older style drain tank, kind of, but with a more modern juggernaut twist to it. So, yeah, and actually his passive, much like the old Mordekaiser, feels like an extremely important part of his kit. I remember like way back, I'm thinking like old season 1, 2 kind of Mordekaiser. As far as I can recall, like his passive was probably, or how do I want to phrase this? Basically, of all passives that existed in the game at the time, Mordekaiser was had possibly the most important passive, in terms of how integral it was to his kit. So I'm kind of seeing that, like that's the impression I'm getting. Like his passive seems extremely important to his kit. certainly the movement speed looks like it's going to help due to his lack of mobility, it seems like. Although he does have that new dragon ability kind of thing going for him there. So another ability with a pseudo hook again. So yeah, anyway, should be interesting to check out. It seems like the kind of thing that I can enjoy playing. You know, I tend to like a little bit more mobility on my champions usually, but I mean, well, we'll see how it plays out. Like I said, it is still sort of a bruiser-ish, sort of fightery kind of champion, and I tend to like those. So yeah, look forward to bringing you guys gameplay of this as soon as possible. And of course, I'll be live streaming as soon as the PBE is up. So you know, twitch.tv/sponsor, the usual thing. All right, so can't milk this for any more pseudo analysis. I'll see you guys around. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.